Hot transfer update from Fabrizio Romano. Liverpool fans are probably fed up with the constant connections with possible new midfielders coming to the club. But Fabrizio Romano has updated on two of the hottest connections right now. The Italian journalist said, Liverpool are watching Matheus Nunes along with other candidates for the summer transfer window, always appreciated when he was already at Sporting. The main focus is Jude Bellingham. Nunez is one of their favourite midfielders. Research was done for Nunez in January. There may be some hot developments in the coming days. It's probably not a surprise to see Jude Bellingham's name pop up once again, and it at least shows that the Reds' hopes may be relatively high for him to be included in a possible signing for him this summer. Matheus Nunes, on the other hand, has a different transfer story. Liverpool watched him a lot during the summer and they were very interested. However, this move did not turn into a concrete offer and the player was transferred to Wolves. In fact, as we stated in the summer, we said that Liverpool would continue to follow him and wanted to see how he could keep up with the pace of the Premier League. Of course, this observing job also brought with it that you would have to pay more money. However, he chose to take this path for the player that Liverpool were not entirely sure of, and as a matter of fact, he seems somewhat right. The Portuguese player does not seem to have fully adapted to the Premier League so far. He didn't fully shed light on the campaign, and so some fans may not be convinced that the 24-year-old is the man the Reds need. However, the young star suffered an injury and is trying to get back in shape to recover. Moreover, Wolves' bad course this season seems to have reduced his performance and prevented him from showing his real impact. Jude Bellingham's transfer is almost certain to be the end of the season. However, the transfer of Matheus Nunes can take place during the current transfer period. Liverpool could sign their next Suarez. Liverpool's most prominent area for reinforcements on the transfer front is certainly the centre of the park, but that doesn't mean the club won't be targeting the offensive line if an attractive opportunity arises. According to reports from Italy, MLS team Chicago Fire's formidable striker Jürgen has caught the attention of Reds boss Jürgen Klopp, who made a concrete move for the player when January opened its doors recently. The teenager didn't quite taste the high-end action, but in his first year, he's already impressing with a clinical edge and frightening physicality that could form the basis of an exemplary career as a stunning phenomenon. According to Italian sources, a fee of roughly £17.5 million may have been enough to lure him away from Fire's clutches. While the asking price may seem a bit high for a commodity unknown on European soil, the dynamic skill set will be a welcome price for any high-end outfit in pursuit of success. Calcio Mercato correspondent Rafael Omoto said, Liverpool are making concrete moves for Jürgen, but the current bid is lower than Benfica's. The biggest trap for the Portuguese is represented by Aston Villa. Chicago aims to raise €20 million. At just 19 years old, Jürgen scored 8 goals and 5 assists from just 14 starts over the course of the 2022 MLS campaign in a groundbreaking year when the Colombian phenomenon resonated with the American scene. The three-cap jewel was at the center of praise by talent scout Jacek Kulik at the age of 18, considered a complete centre-forward, fast, strong and confident with the ball at his feet, and aggressive and determined on the pitch. Despite his young age, his all-encompassing aura on the field could pay dividends for Klopp, who is looking to turn the page in a new episode at Anfield. He could bring a talisman to the club for years to come that could emulate the success of the coveted centre-forward Luis Suarez, who is a very aggressive and thorough attacker like Jürgen. Suarez signed to the Reds for a £22.7 million fee from Ajax in 2012 and has managed to build one of the most devastating careers in Premier League history. He wowed fans and experts alike with his fluffy arsenal and innate talent. Wonder Kid still hasn't been tested much on the biggest stage, as heralded by Tom Bogert, but he certainly has the ingredients to deliver a stunning mix of excellence, and with a cutting edge that's evident from his little time in MLS, he can nurture his early talents in one of the world's premier outfits. His impressive SofaScore rating of 6.91 is testament to his perseverance and all-encompassing approach to his game. With 2.2 shots per game, his debut definitely reminds of an old phenomenon that took the country by storm in the Liverpool Red. The future of Roberto Firmino, who is currently in Liverpool's forward line, is not clear yet. Although it is reported that the contract extension negotiations are continuing, it seems certain that the contract period will be short-lived. Therefore, a new striker will be needed in any case. Also, no one was transferred in the role of Divock Origi, who left in the summer. John Duran can rectify these shortcomings and shine like a diamond in Klopp's hands. Cody Gakpo will kick off as Jürgen Klopp replaces captain and Liverpool introduces their new midfield. Liverpool have plenty of time to overcome their 3-1 humility at the hands of Brentford before taking action against the Wolves in Saturday's FA Cup. As cup defence begins at Anfield, Jürgen Klopp tries to get back into form. He hopes it can be a welcome distraction to the Reds' recent Premier League failures. New signing Cody Gakpo is waiting in line to face West Midlands for his first game in Liverpool. But given the Reds' gloomy show in the capital, it's a surprise if it's the only change. And considering that some players have suffered minor injuries since the World Cup break, there are likely to be some changes in Klopp's squad to face the Wolves. With Liverpool's League Cup defence already over, Calvin Kelleher scored to replace Alisson in just the third game of the season. Calvin Ramsey is currently sidelined with an unspecified injury, while James Milner has been absent from the League Cup since losing to Manchester City due to a thigh injury. The Reds' co-captain is fit for a comeback against the Wolves, but is held in reserve by right-back Joe Gomez. Ibrahima Konate remains at the returning centre-back after the World Cup against Brentford and is partnering with Nat Phillips. Meanwhile, Andy Robertson is returning to left-back to replace Kostas Tsimikas fighting the Bees. Virgil van Dijk was given the night off after limping at half-time against Brentford, with Joel Matip an alternative at the centre. Liverpool midfield is expected to change completely. Naby Keita, who was included in the game from the bench against Brentford, made his first start of the season after injury. Meanwhile, Stefan Bajcetic got another chance to start as Liverpool's midfielder. Curtis Jones is available again after returning from injury on the bench against the Bees, while Jordan Henderson may return after missing the trip to the capital with a concussion. Milner is also an option if available. However, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who stood out in the front trio during the festive season, retains the starting berth and makes a debut in his preferred midfielder role. Roberto Firmino has not been involved since his restart due to injury. But if he passes in form, he comes straight to the start as centre-forward as both Mohamed Salah and Darwin Nunez have survived. Cody Gakpo will make his Liverpool debut in the left-wing favourite position, and promising young player Ben Doak will make his debut for the Reds on the opposing wing. However, if Firmino is not in form, Fabio Carvalho is also an option to start on offence. Gakpo may find himself in a central position instead. Possible Liverpool start of 11 is as follows: Kelleher, Joe Gomez at right-back, Konate and Phillips at centre-back, Robertson at left-back, Naby Keita, Stefan Bajcetic and Oxlade-Chamberlain in midfield. Ben Doak is expected to take charge on the right wing, Firmino in the middle and Gakpo on the left wing.